mistakes that I have made, or any other things that cause. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I am light.
All right. Oh, yeah, there we are. All right, Shabbat Shalom. Shall we? Okay.
Blue Toyota Camry with lights on it.
Shabbat Shalom, dear friends.
Shabbat shalom.
I have been informed that there is a blue Toyota Camry with its lights on. It might be you. If it is, you know what to do.
I wonder what happened with
And
that
speaking
black
of
car.
lights, these words are on the inside of your Or Harashot. This is a song by Jewish musician Batya Levine. We sung here a couple of times, but it might be new for many of you. It's called May I Be Empty. And it's a little bit of an intention going into this season of light and this Hanukkah to be able to receive the light and receive the blessings that are coming our way. And so as you catch on, the words are pretty simple. They're in English. I invite you to join us. May I be empty and open to receive the light. May I be empty and open to receive. May I be empty and open to receive the light. May I be empty and open to receive. May I be full. May I be full and open to receive the light. May I be full and open to receive. May I be full and open to receive the light. May I be full and open to receive. One more time. May I be empty and open to receive the light. May I be empty and open to receive. May I be empty and open to receive the light. May I be empty and open to receive. May I be full and open to receive the light. May I be full and open to receive. May I be full and open to receive the light. May I be full and open to receive. May I be full one more time. May I be full and open to receive the light. May I be full and open to receive. May I be full and open to receive the light. May I be full and open to receive. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
The candles that we lit, there's like just one little tiny flame and the Chanukiah is still going. I don't even know if you can see it, but you'll probably see a little wisp of smoke in just a second as it goes out. But the Shabbat candles are still going strong. This Hanukkah is a holiday of abundance, a celebration where there are no restrictions. It's not like other holidays or there are things you can't do. This is just pure positivity and joy as we increase light each night. And I'm very excited that I think, at least if things go to plan, this room is going to be pretty full by the end of our Kabbalat Shabbat service. But those of you who are here at the beginning are creating the energy of abundance and light and joy that others will be able to walk into. And so Kabbalat Shabbat, we turn to page 11. And we take each step through the week. I love when Hanukkah starts on a Sunday night because each day of the week is tracking with the day of Hanukkah. So now we're up to 6. And we're going to take steps through our week as we reflect back on where we've been and we receive a new soul, an extra little bit of soul. So we're in Siddur Lev Shalem, page 11. Lehu nira nehena l'Adonai nariya letzur yishenu nekadma banav Nari Halo. Hi El Gadol Adonai Melech Gadol Kol Elohim. Come down, let us bow, let us kneel, let us bend our knees. For you are our God, and we are your flock in your hands. Arba'im Shana Akud Vedor Va'omar Am Toei Levavhem Vehem Lo Yadu Drachai Asher Nishbati V'Api Im Yivon El Menuchati. Page 13.
Shiru Adonai Shir Chadash, Shiru Adonai Kol Haaretz, Shiru Adonai Baruchu Shemo, Basru Miyom Liyom Yeshuato, Zafru Lagoyim Kevodo, Bechol Ha'amim Nifleotav, Ki Gadol Adonai. Kol Elohei ha'amim elilim Adonai shamayim asa Hod v'hadar lefanav Oz v'tiferet b'mikdasho Avul Adonai mishpechot amim Avul Adonai kavod va'oz Avul Adonai Adonai b'har hakodesh, hilu mipanav kol haaretz, imru lagoyim, Adonai malach, avtikon tevel v'atimod, yadinamim v'mesharim, yismachu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz, yiram hayam, V'chol asher bo Az yiranenu kol hatzeyar Lifnei Adonai Kiva Lishvot haaretz Yishvot tevel b'tzedek Ve'amim be'emunato Yanai yedidai
Adonai Malach Takeh Haaretz. Clouds and thick darkness surround you. Righteousness and justice secure your throne. Flashes of lightning illumine all the earth. The earth watches and trembles. Light is planted for the righteous and joy for the upright. On the bottom of page 16, this is a call and response. Ur Zaruah Latzadik Ur Yishvei Lev Simcha Ur Zaruah Latzadik Ur Yishvei Lev Simcha Ur Yishvei Lev Simcha Ur Yishvei Lev Simcha. We'll turn to page 21. I invite you to rise if you're able. This psalm is, you'll hear the word kol, not kol all, but kol with a kuf kol voice, the voice of Adonai that's coming from all the different places, popping up in powerful ways, or the still small voice sometimes, that little beating heart, conscience voice that you get that sort of nags you when you least really want to hear it, but you know you need to hear it. The kol in all its ways. Mizmor leDavid, Avud Adonai b'nei Elim, Avud Adonai, Avud Baos, Avud
Adonai, Kevod Shemo Yishtachavu Adonai V'Hadrat Kodesh, Kol Adonai Hamayim El HaKavod Yirim, Adonai Hamayim Habim, Kol Adonai Bakoach, Kol Adonai Behadar, Kol Adonai Shover Arazim, Vaishaper Adonai et Arzei Havanon, Vayarkidem Kemo Egel Levanon, Besirion Kemo Veini, Kol Adonai Chotzev Avotesh, Kol Adonai Yachil Midbar, Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai Cholel Ayalot, Vayechesov Ye'arot U'echalot Kulo Merkavo, Adonai Lama Buyashav Yishev Adonai Melech Leolam.
You can be seated. We're on page 22. Anna bikoach, bikoach, gedulat yemincha, yemincha. Tatir terura, kabel rinatancha, savenu, tavenu, nura. Anna bikoach, bikoach, gedulat yemincha, yemincha. Tatir terura, kabel rinatancha, savenu, tavenu, nura. Anna bikoach, gedulat yemincha, tatir terura, tatir terura, kabel rinat amecha, savenu, tarenu, nora. Ay, day, 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 day. Ay, day, 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 day. Ay, day, day, ay, day, day. Ay, day, 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 do. Ay, 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 day, day. Ay, day, 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 day. Ay, day, day, ay, day, day. Ay, day, ay, day, ay, oh. So we turn to Lechado D. This is a tune you know, although you may not know it to Lechado D, but you'll figure it out. Lechado D likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lechado D likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Shamur v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmiyanu el hamiyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litila.
Lechado di likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lechado di likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela.
Likrat Shabbat le'chuven elcha, Ki mekor habaraka, Merosh mikadem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila.
Lechado di likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lechado di likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela.
Mikdash melech hir melucha, Kumitzehi mitocha hafecha, Rav Lashevet v'yamekavacha, V'hu yachavot alaychem la.
Lechado di likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lechado di likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela.
Hitnari mea parkumi, Liv shivik de tifartechami, Ayad ben Yishai beitalachmi, Korvahel nafshike Allah.
Lechado di likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela.
Hitoriri, hilaorech, umi uri, shir daperi, kevod Adonai, alay nikla.
Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela.
Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lo tevoshi velo tikami, matishtochachi umatami, bakekesu ani heami, venibneta iratila.
Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela.
Behayulim shiso shosai v'rachaku u'mirvalai yasis alai Elohai kimsos chatan akala.
Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela.
Yaminu smol tifotzi v'yat Adonai tahariti al yadish ben parti ben ismecha binagila.
Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat
nikabela. So welcoming in whatever spark of light you're hoping to kindle the Shabbat. Reaching forward and inviting it in to just hold on to, just for these next 25 hours. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha ubtola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, boi chala. Lechadodi b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lechadodi
likrat kala,
b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Yadidai, Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat li Kabbalat, li Chadodi, li Kala, li Shabbat, li Kabbalat. It's so good to hear your voices. Mismor shir leyom hashabbat. Tov leodot l'Adonai ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Is so good to feel grateful and to sing and to just for a moment forget where you are, forget the to-do list, forget the undone things, and just be in Shabbat mode. We're on the bottom of page 28. Tzadikata hamari kirva ki heres balvanon iska shetuli beveit Adonai b'chatzrot Eloheinu yafrihu od yenuvun b'seiva dishenim v'rananim iyu lehagi ki yashar Adonai zuri velo avlatahu. Adonai malachei levish Adonai titazar mikolot ma'im rabi adiri mishpareyam adir b'marom Adonai eidotecha nemnu mehod levicha navakodesh Adonai leorech yamim. I want to thank Drew and Levi and Jeff and Amy for creating the texture for us to all be able to sing together. Shabbat Shalom. So I'm really glad that you're here tonight, both those of you who are here in person and everybody who's with us on Zoom. So before we learn a little bit of Torah together, I want to invite you to learn a little bit about each other. And so if you're here in the room, in just a moment, I want to invite you to turn to somebody near you, maybe somebody, you don't have to get up, but maybe somebody seated near you that you don't know as well, if it's possible. You may need to relocate slightly in order to find somebody. And if you're on Zoom, turn to the person in your home with you, or maybe chat with somebody else in the Zoom box. And I would like each of you, or just think to yourself if you prefer to just be in your own head about this, to respond to this prompt. And if you're here in the room, you'll each have 2 minutes to share a story, and then I'll tell you when to switch. So the prompt is to share a very short story of experiencing resilience from this past year. Maybe this was your own moment of resilience, or maybe this was a moment where you got to witness resilience in another person. So just take a moment, maybe think about whatever pops into your head first, that's probably the right thing. So don't think too hard about it. But turn toward someone near you, decide who's going to go first, and then in about 2 minutes, I'll tell you when to switch. Okay, so begin to come back together. Hopefully this can be a little fodder for your dinner conversations. All right. And if you didn't, if you spoke to somebody that you don't know, I hope you actually introduced yourself so that you, brought your mask down. So you'd be like, oh yeah, this is what I look like. All right, come back, come back, come back. I know, it's a lost cause. It's fine, go to dinner, it's fine. Okay. So I think it's always really good when we get to connect with each other like this. And I'm a big proponent. I know I want to thank the Zoom people. That sounds like the pod people. That's weird. I want to thank the folks who are with us on Zoom for bearing with us, because I know it can feel like some, FOMO, some missing out to watch all these people chatting. So thank you. And next time we'll try to put you in breakout rooms. Okay, come back. So particularly as this secular Gregorian calendar year is starting to wind down and we may be feeling a little reflective, I want to talk tonight about the stories that we tell about our past experiences and what it means to really begin to tell a story of resilience. So in the 1970s, there was a young psychiatrist named Bessel van der Kolk, who was just starting out his career by working at the VA hospital. And it was his first experience working with trauma patients, particularly vets who had just come back from Vietnam. And up until this point, there had been no such thing as a diagnosis of PTSD. It was a new diagnosis. And it was these soldiers coming back from Vietnam who, using their collective voice to talk about the trauma that they had experienced and the aftermath of that experience, they pushed the medical community to actually say this phenomenon we are experiencing, post-traumatic stress disorder, this needs to have a name, and we need a different kind of care. We can't just be expected to go back to business as usual. And so van der Kolk became really captivated by these patients and their stories, and it shaped the entire trajectory of his career, and he's now known as one of the world's foremost experts on trauma and resilience. And in his studies, he came across an earlier study from World War II, where a class of Harvard students, most of whom men who went off to war in 1942 for the most part, and most came back in 45. The study followed this group of veterans from 1945 and surveyed them every 2 years and interviewed them every 5 until 1990, at least until 1990, to really track what their experience was like coming back from war and how they reintegrated into society and how they integrated the experience that they had had. It's called the Grant Study, if you're interested. And it turns out, and this is fascinating, it turns out that the people who did not develop what would have been called PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, from the war, which was the vast majority of those veterans, those people, those resilient vets, told very different stories in 1990 than they did in 1945. Now, almost half a century later from their experience in the war, when they told their story, the war was this glorious experience, and it was a growth experience for them. And they talked about how close they felt to people and their comrades and how patriotic they felt. But the other group, the people who got traumatized from the war experience, they are still telling the exact same story in 1990 as they are in 1945. And they can't transform their story and they can't heal because they're stuck reliving the trauma in their bodies over and over again. And I think so often, even if we haven't experienced trauma, real trauma to that extent, as these veterans, we can do similar things in response to loss and painful experiences. We get stuck telling these old narratives, and perhaps for very, very understandable reasons. Maybe because what happened to us was really painful, or because we feel responsible for keeping the memories of the people that we've lost alive. And in some way, by reliving those really hard, difficult memories is the way that we keep them alive with us. And we might get worried that if we start forgetting the pain, maybe that means that our love for what or whom was lost is somehow diminished. Or if we're not clinging to it at all the time, someone might try to deny the truth of what happened. So the question is, how do we integrate our experiences and learn to tell a new story that holds the truth and the pain alongside memories of resilience and also the ways that we're growing and we're changing? And as it turns out, Hanukkah, of all holidays, is a holiday all about learning how to tell a new narrative when the old one is no longer working. So here's how the classic story of Hanukkah goes. This is a familiar story to many. Around 168 BCE, Antiochus Epiphanes came to power of the Assyrian Greeks and ordered the Jews to begin worshiping Greek gods, and he outlawed Jewish practices. His soldiers invaded the temple. They erected a statue of Zeus in the very temple, in the most sacred space that we Jews had. And they even began sacrificing pigs inside the temple. So there was a rebellion led by Mattathias and his 5 sons, the Maccabees. And for a while, at least, they were able to drive the enemy out of Jerusalem and ultimately rededicate the temple. And what is so interesting is that by the time we get to the Talmud, circa 500 years later after these events happen, the story, the narrative has morphed. So in their discussions, the rabbis, they ask a question that may sound totally ridiculous to the reader. They say 2 words. They say, "My Hanukkah. What is Hanukkah? What's the story of this holiday?" Do they not know what this holiday is? They've been doing it for 400, 500 years at this point. How is it possible they don't know what Hanukkah is? It's like somebody here saying, what is Hanukkah? Of course you know what Hanukkah is. They aren't dummies. But their question is a deeper one. My Hanukkah. What does Hanukkah mean to us now? Achshav. The world has changed in these 500 years. They are no longer living in a time when a small band of guerrilla fighters could overthrow the empire. They've been there. They've tried that with the Bar Kokhba revolt. They are now living in exile from Jerusalem, and they have to build a new Judaism, one that relies on small acts of faith in their homes and in their synagogues, not in the temple. It relies not on waiting for overwhelming miracles to restore their former status and their glory, but on bearing witness to the tiny miracles that were right in front of them. The miracle of having enough when you thought you would run out, and having the strength to get through when you didn't think you could. They didn't deny the facts of history, but the new story, the new narrative became layered on top of the old. But their ability to craft a new narrative at the core of this holiday meant that they could make meaning out of the experience now rather than remain stuck in an ancient myth that wasn't serving them in this moment. And since the time of the Talmud, more narratives have been layered on top and on top and on top, like layers of an archaeological dig. And we know the war for Israel's independence in 1948 sparked a reclaiming of the ancient story of the Maccabees, because the parallel of the tiny Israeli defense forces against overwhelming numbers of surrounding Arab nations' armies was undeniable with the story of Hanukkah. And so this became an Israeli holiday of tremendous pride and triumph. And in America, Hanukkah almost has this dual narrative meaning, both a kind of universal holiday about bringing light into the darkness at this darkest time of year, which many major religions also share in different forms, and also a very, very particular Jewish holiday, a way for the Jewish minority here in this country to assert ourselves proudly and joyfully that we are here, despite oppression, despite anti-Semitism, that we are here and that we can be publicly exactly who we are without being erased, without having to compromise. So right now in our own community here here at Or Hadash. There are so many different ways that we are understanding and creating narratives around this moment that we are in. Some of us are eager to come back to a shul without masks, to allow this highly vaccinated, protected community to be the one public place where we can feel totally safe and normal again and allow our kids to run free and hug and kiss each other. Others of us are really fearful of this new variant and what it could mean for us, especially those of us with underlying health conditions or who are otherwise pretty vulnerable. Some are coming here in person, albeit tentatively, and others continue to shelter at home for the foreseeable future. Some of us are feeling really distant from community right now because our connections, our normal routines have been disrupted now for quite some time. And we're unsure of where we fit into a changing landscape. We're feeling maybe like we're on these rafts out alone at sea with only a really thin tether attached to the ship that could maybe break at any moment. And others of us are feeling a really renewed sense of purpose right now in this moment, diving into new projects and connecting with others with shared mission and shared values. And so many of us, no matter whether we're feeling hopeful or fearful, feel just overwhelmed at what lies ahead. So how do we write a new collective narrative that will support our growth as a community and our resilience in this moment without denying the truth of what's hardest right now? We start by the way we did at the beginning, by calling forth these quiet moments of resilience to live alongside the truths of the loss and the pain. And for me, when I try to think about a moment of resilience personally over this past year, at first I find it's really difficult. And I don't know if this was true for you when I asked the question. It's hard because the moments of loss and the moments of disappointment like to sit right up in the front row, and they're very loud and they make their presence known. But I find that once I'm able to locate one memory of resilience, the rest of them kind of tumble forth, and then I can't stop. So I just want to share some of my moments of witnessing resilience in myself and in others. Some of you know I got to gather with 500 clergy in Brunswick, Georgia 2 weeks ago in prayer and in hope, and to stand alongside Ahmad Arbery's family. And I was able to answer the call of being in solidarity once again, do this thing that I used to do all the time, and it really filled my soul. I got to go to Camp Ramah this past summer, and I got to see so many of our kids and teens just like dancing their tuchuses off and sweaty and gross and beautiful. It was so great. And like 11 o'clock at night, they're still going because they've just missed this so much. I got to sit with Joel's 99-year-old grandfather last weekend at Thanksgiving, who has miraculously made it through these last 2 years, not a small feat. And he took my hand in his, and he told me that he can't remember my name anymore, but he loves me and he loves Joel. And I got to be a witness here in this room last night when 5 of our community members from age 14, 15 to close to 70 shared their stories of mental health and illness and spiritual resilience. And you could see how their courage and their vulnerability ignited this spark in each person there in the room. And we watched the ability of the human spirit to transcend some of the worst things that have happened to us and to use our pain to create healing for others. We start building new narratives by recalling our own moments of resilience, and we learn to hold them alongside our losses and disappointments. And then we seek out one another. we rededicate ourselves to relationships and to the potential of this community to create something new out of the darkness, as it always has. Just before Thanksgiving, we began a project of training lay leaders in the art of holding one-on-ones, which are really intentional conversations to discover each other's passions and concerns and leadership potential as they relate to our Or Hadash community. And this is a tool that we want to use going forward to strengthen our relationships and build our bench of leaders and discover a sense of common purpose in these uncharted waters. And so if you were at this inaugural training, there's going to be more, but if you were at the first one, just raise your hand. A few folks here, great. And we're hoping to do another one of these in January. So if you're interested in learning how to hold these conversations, let me know so I can invite you. And also Rochelle, is Rochelle in here? I think she might be outside, but Rochelle Mucha is really helping with this project, so you can let Rochelle know too. And if you are someone who's been feeling adrift and far away, we want to swim out to where you are. We want to meet you there and witness your stories, where you're feeling passion and motivation, and also where you're feeling grief or loss or concern. And so if you're interested in having one of these conversations, we want to know. Let us know. So tonight, on this Shabbat Rosh Chodesh Chanukah, I want to bless all of us to be able to write new narratives that embrace the truth of our experiences and help us to propel forward with purpose and with hope. May we have the courage to do this work in each of our souls, in each of our families, and collectively as a community where everyone's story has a home. Shabbat Shalom and Chanukah Sameach. I invite you to rise. We'll join together for Baruch Hu. Page 30. Page 39. You can be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher nasa b'yom hashvi'i, vayikra Shabbat kodesh me'erev ad erev. U'ma'avir yom, u'meir yilayla, u'mabdil ben yom u'ben layla, Adonai tzavot shemo, El Chai v'Kayam, Tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamarim Haravim, Avad v'olam Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem nege yomam v'layla ve'avatcha al tasir mimenu le'olami Baruch atah Adonai Ohevamo Yisrael. Join together in the Shema, page 41. Shema Asher Anochi Mitzavecha Hayom Alavecha Veshinatam Levanecha V'dibarta bam Veshivtecha B'beitecha Uvelachtecha B'derech Uvshoftecha Ufnunecha Ukshartam Neot Al Yadecha Vehayu letotafot b'neinecha uchtavtam hamzuzot beitecha u'b'hisharecha v'hayim shemot yishmelu mitzvotai. Continue on your own on page 42. V'yomer Adonai HaMoshe Adonai Elohechem Emetz V'yamuna kol zot v'kayam aleinu ki hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'en zulato v'anachnu Yisrael amen. Continue on page 44. Malchuto beratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe u'Miriam u'bnei Yisrael chanu shira v'simcha raba v'amru chulam Mi hamocha elim Adonai Mi hamocha nedar b'kodesh Norat tehilot u'sefer Malchutecha ra'u banecha Bokayam lifnei Moshe Zei li anu ve'amru Adonai imlo leolam va'ed V'nehemar ki pad Adonai et Yaakov U'galo mi'achazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Kahal Yisrael. Page 45.
Ashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu Neshavot V'hamidenu Shomer Hashmidenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom V'hamidenu Shoreinu
Taking a moment now to whisper aloud any names of loved ones who are sick and in need of healing, of body, mind, of spirit. Moshe ben Golda, Yitzchak Rafua ben Harav Shuga Feivel, Ahu, Gail Palti, Esther Bennett, Vicky Flink, Eli Nikolaidu, Yaakov Mordechai ben Makalea Esther, Itay ben Yitzchak Levi, Chaim ben Yaakov Arezo, Dova Davida Barika Rachakua, Miriam bat Brandeis, Simcha David, Shoshana Penina, Shoshana bat Abraham, Eric Genser, Ruvain, Gary Snyder, Shev ben Yechezkel Levitch Rafika Leah, Stephen Goldberg, Josh Liley, Mati ben Hadassah Abraham. Wishing all of them refuah shlema, a full healing. Ushmor tzeitzenu vo'enu l'chaim ul'shalom me'ata v'ad olam ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'akol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. We rise for Vishamru, page 46. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Few moments here for our own personal prayers and Amidah, beginning on page 47. It's Rosh Chodesh and Hanukkah, so you can add the appropriate insertions. We'll come back in just a few minutes. Adonai sefatai tiftach Ufi aki tehilataha. These words, Al-Hanisim, for the miracles, can be found on the top of page 430 in your book. Al-Hanisim ve'al-Hapurkan ve'al-Hagurun ve'al-Hachur ve'al-Haniflaot she'asita lavotenu bayamim ha'em bazman hazeh. Al-Hanisim ve'al-Hapurkan ve'al-Hagurun ve'al-Hachur ve'al-Haniflaot she'asita lavotenu bayamim ha'em bazman hazeh. Al-Hanisim ve'al-Hapurkan ve'al-Hagurun ve'al-Hachur ve'al-Haniflaot she'asita lavotenu bayamim ha'em bazman Turn back to Kaddish Shalem, page 54. Yikara vikara shemei rabbi ve'almad yivachirute v'yamlich machute v'chayachon v'yamechon chayedecho beit Yisrael v'gala v'isman kari v'meru amen yehi shmei rav mevorach le'alam u'lo me'alaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitrom v'yitnoseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitala shemei kodesha Leila min kol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata damiran b'yama v'yimeru Amen Tikabal tzlorhon u'varhon d'chol Yisrael kodam uvoni v'yishmaya v'yimeru Amen Yehi shlam harav min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'kol Yisrael v'yimeru Amen Oseh shalom b'imromav Uyase shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, b'meru. Amen. Page 56. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latei gedula, liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, v'lo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkeinu kahem, v'gur aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. We're down at the bottom of page 56. 3 words in the second to last line. V'hashevota, v'hashevota, el livvavecha, ki Adonai, You can be seated. We turn to Mourner's Kaddish, and we're in the period of Shloshim, remembering Lolis Leom, beloved member of Or Chadash, and Faye Rakusin, the mother-in-law of Lee Rakusin, Zipporah Bat Binyamin, as well as the yard sites of Estelle Abrams, Sydney Backer, Reza Boglaberg, Michael Citron, George Feinstein, Albert Fisher, Beverly Weaver Freshman, Lucille Argerboy, Edward Kassauer, Elaine L. Levin, Jane Mattel, Neil Nodvin, Doris Flank Perling, Teresa Reish, Jerry Rosenblum, Lawrence Brooks Simons, and Giselle Wolfson. Yizi Chronam Livracha, may all their memories be blessings. Invite all who are saying Kaddish to rise and join in together on page 58. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah. Ve'alma divra chirute ve'amlich machute. V'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chaye techol beit Yisrael. Va'agala u'vizman kari ve'imru amen. Yehe shmei rabba mevorach le'olam u'lamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'pa'ar v'tromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudsha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush v'chata v'nechamata damiran ve'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'molad hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yeshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the one who makes peace on high make peace for us here, for all Israel, for all humankind. And we say, Amen. Amen. All right, we'll make this snappy because I know my tummy's rumbling, and so I know yours is too. So I want to invite Gail to come and share some announcements.
A mazel tov to the Heaven family on Max's bar mitzvah tomorrow, and welcome all of your family and friends here who are sharing Shabbat with us. This is a real moment of resilience for us. The last time that we did a community Shabbat dinner was when Rabbi Lauren came to interview in February of 2020. And so I think this is like a kind of a Shechekiani moment that we're actually back able to do this, and really thankful that all of you have come to participate in this, and hopefully this is just a trend that will continue to continue as we move into the new year. Just a couple of things on the calendar for next week to be aware of. Next Saturday night is our first movie night, or that's another thing that's sort of coming back. Invite you to sign up for that. It'll be a really nice event with some food and a nice movie. Please RSVP. There's some more information about it out there. And then on Sunday, we have the kind of the culmination of our clothing drive. If you still have some things you haven't quite gotten to cleaning out your closets yet, invite you to do that over the next week, and we'll be doing a kind of a drive-through on Sunday and sorting all the clothes that are going to be going to the CAC. Okay. Just logistics for this evening, just for when we all take a break and go back there. We encourage or ask that everybody please leave your masks on while you're in line and while you're getting your food. There will be, you can sit inside or you can sit outside, wherever you are most comfortable. There is plenty of food for everyone, and we look forward to just having a nice time to get together and schmooze with everybody. Shabbat shalom.
And his brother Sammy, unless Sammy has abandoned you. No, he's still here. Okay, good. Don't leave him hanging. So Max and Sammy, as Gail said, Max is becoming bar mitzvah tomorrow afternoon, Shabbat afternoon, before Havdalah. And so I invite them to lead us in Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron b'maaseh b'reshit ki hu yom tehillah למקראי קודש, זכר לציון במצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה ורצון. Imhaltanu. Ata Adonai Kadesh HaShabbat. Amen. Chaim. Oh. Mazel tov. So it's not, I don't think it's wine. If it was, sorry. Happy Hanukkah. They're just saying, what is it, grape juice or wine? It's grape juice. It's grape juice. Sorry to disappoint. All right, reach out. You can bless someone around you with Birkat Kohanim. I don't know if Sammy's going to let you do that. Maybe your parents want to bless you. You can go back to them. So happy you're all here, being able to celebrate this weekend. What a mitzvah. What a blessing. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
Yehei ratzon.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
Yehei ratzon.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
Yehei ratzon.
May God bless you and keep you safe and healthy. May God shine God's face on you and be gracious to you. May God lift up their face toward you and grant you peace. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom. And Max, I need you again because I don't know this prayer. What do we say? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'teavon, Shabbat Shalom. We're going to do a little like Hanukkah medley if anyone is not hungry and wants to stick around. Yes. I don't know. Let's do this.